Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and welcome back to Red Sky Bay on the Hermitcraft server. As you can see, I've got plenty of stuff kind of started around the bay. I've got a partially completed house, I've got a partially completed castle, and I've got just a bunch of random stuff. But sometimes, it's a little bit like, I just want to do something, and I don't know exactly what I want to do. And one of my friends mentioned to me one time, and I'm not sure how true this is. This is kind of the nature of friends talking about stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to work on my garden, but it's not really growing in all the way yet. And I don't want to waste a bunch of time, harvesting partially planted or partially grown crops. But one of my friends was talking about how he heard that Scientology attracts people, like, by finding people who don't really have their lives in order, and then giving them simple tools to kind of get their lives in order, like how to manage projects around your house, how to get things done. So, like, if you take somebody who constantly feels like they never get anything done, and then you tell them, like, hey, if you don't know what to do next, just pick something and start doing it. All of a sudden, they're like, wow, my life is so much better now. Clearly, there's something to this Scientology thing. Even though, really, you're just teaching them basic skills for, getting things done in life. So anyway, I'm going to take that lesson and not apply any of the core precepts of Scientology to it, but I am going to go, oh, you know what? Here's something that needs to be done. I've got this Sheep Friends pen here that is still hideous and terrible, and I built this because we needed a waterway to drop off the sheep, and at this point, we have enough sheep. We're good on sheep. Probably shouldn't have started digging out that part yet, maybe. But you know what? This is actually a terrible place for a sheep pen anyway, in the long term. I just wanted to have it somewhere that they could deliver the sheep, ZF and Tango. So, you know what, actually? We're just going to free the sheep for right now, and we'll let them roam and get out a little bit. And then from whence they came, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something good that rhymes with came there, but like shame. Go back, from whence they blamed. No, that's not better. So anyway, we're just gonna kind of clean this up in general to let these sheep have a chance to wander around, and we'll eventually build a real sheep pen somewhere, I guess. But like, just having random sheep around grazing hasn't necessarily been the worst thing for me. Was there a squid like right down there? I could have sworn I saw some sort of weird legs sticking out right here. Maybe that was just the candle or the torch or something there. But anyway, so we just got something done. Our area here is actually way better, and in the process of doing so, we gave our little crops a little bit more of a chance to grow. Why don't we go ahead and pop this off? Right, whoa. There's an invisible block here somewhere. Great. Anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and pop off this part of the map here with our terrible sheep farm thing. And then put it back on. Boom. Looking good. It'll look even better when that grass grows back in. And this grass grows back in. But anyway, got something accomplished. Now, I guess I could always come over here and do some work on my big stone structure, because there is no... Oh, but those chunks will be unloaded and then the food won't grow. Well, okay, so let's come back here and look for something else to do over here. Well, I can harvest this, but, like, this is the same thing as those crops. Like, harvesting them when they're partially grown just feels like a big waste of time. It's so much more efficient to come through here when you can knock out the whole thing at once. So, you know what? Another little tweak we can do. We can take this ladder down. Don't really need it at the moment. And it's not really doing much for the general appearance of the area. Okay, furthermore, future enchanting tool and armor building. Well, I actually don't have an enchanted helmet right now, so it would be super helpful, actually, if I did build an enchanting tool and armor building. So let's see. First, I'm going to need some obsidian and some diamonds. Oh, but that's going to require finding the nearest ender chest, which might be all the way back at spawn. And then the crops won't grow. Dang it. So we can go ahead and just kind of finish out this path here. This is another thing that I've kind of had on my list for a while, just never actually got around to doing. So while those crops grow, it's like watching grass grow, but we're not looking at the grass. And in fact, we're hitting grass with shovels while something else grows behind us. So that's what we're doing. And then we can extend this piece of this over to here. Kind of get this going as well. Kind of might have this one meander a little bit that way as it goes. Sorry, Torch, you're done. And now you're also grass or dirt. So now we have to wait for that to grow back. Dang it. It's fine. Everything here's fine. Wonder if I should put stone steps leading up to there. Maybe. Okay, this is coming together a little bit. Maybe I should also make this garden in here a little bit. I really like how it's kind of freeform and goofy, but I could put some real lights underneath the water and not need these torches lying around. And put some lily pads on top of the water as well. Do I have any lily pads? Okay, no lily pads, but you know what? Okay, even though it's going to mean leaving these chunks unloaded for a little bit, I do know where I can get lily pads. And that's at the south end of the bay. If I keep going, I'll eventually hit a swamp behind it. And I can probably just nab a few lily pads out of there. What would I need for this? Maybe 6 lily pads at most. That's not too bad. So let's go ahead and hop in a boat here. And I can also use this as an opportunity to update my map of the southern end of the bay. To add my movie screen. No, it's getting dark. But there was time now. Okay, so new thing we're going to do. We're going to go sleep real quick. Alrighty, so we're going to take this little piggy to the market. Just kidding, we're going to take this little piggy down here toward our drive-in movie screen. Which, you know, I've been looking at it, and even though it's technically 16 by 9 meters, that is actually, there it is right there. Stone hasn't loaded behind it yet. That is actually, you have to actually have it fill my viewport here, I have to get really close to the shore at night, and I don't want to put a bunch of lights behind it because, you know, mobs. So what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do instead is possibly to widen it significantly. So that way, for one thing, I don't like that pillar up there. And for another thing, I don't like mobs coming out and killing me while I'm trying to shoot video of my screen for my NASA videos, which are still coming, guys. I got to write them and edit them onto the front of the screen. And you know what? It's just piece by piece getting it together. You know, snow blocks would have been cheaper. But anyway, so let's quickly... Boom, you can see the movie screens on there now. I probably should put some supports behind it so it looks better on the map. But let's see, I think that swamp is just like right over this hill here. I say right over this hill, it's probably like a lava pit right over this hill. Yay, no lava pit. I like this little frozen pond, that's pretty cool. I don't like that little baby zombie chasing me, though. And the general lack of swamp is... Okay, the swamp is that way. Is that baby zombie still coming after me? Whatever this thing, Tango must have been building this. So what was I seeing there? Is that like the edge of his area? I don't think it's too greedy if I just... Like, he's going to be clearing all this out anyway for his fancy mob spawner thing. So if I just grab 6 random lily pads, I don't think that should hurt his feelings none. And I can always drop him off something later. What would be a nice gift for Tango? Do you guys know Tango? He's a Tango Tech LP on YouTube. And I've met him a few times at conventions, but like I don't know like what would be an appropriate like thank you for letting me steal your lily pads and... Okay, so things we are getting done. Picking up lily pads finally. Moving pigs back where they're supposed to be. Then we'll go ahead. Probably should have gotten the other boat out first. That would have been smart. Okay. Goodbye, pig. Have fun at your other pig party. Have fun at your picnic. Haha. I clevered. So, let's see. What else do we need for our garden improvements? We need blocks that light up. I think I've got some aquamarine lamps or whatever they're called. Prismarine lamps up here. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Nope, no lamps in there. Dang it. I might just be out of them. Oh, in which case I could use the nether lava blocks if I can. I think those might all be back at the death house, though. Alright, so we'll just tap this map right here and continue. We gotta head to the death house real quick to get some things for. Whoops. I was gonna say, I can take this with me, I guess, as well to show how far along these cliffs have come along. So if we gotta go to the death house anyway, let's go ahead and improve our maps while we do it. So, here we go. Is this, none of these are it. There it is. Oh, look at how it looked. That looks all nice with the paths on there and everything now. You can see how that tunnel goes into the hill on the map. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and, yeah, you can kind of see how these cliffs are coming out much better now. Oh, it's interesting. It's like filling in the gaps a little bit as I approach even. So that's already looking much more detailed, which is cool. Then we can get this one out probably. And we should probably hop up on here and run this way before we do this. And while I'm up here, I can check if I accidentally left any lamps or anything in here. White concrete powder, that might come in handy for my movie screen enhancement. Although I'm going to need so much of it, probably, that I'm going to go ahead and grab an extra stack of gravel, and an extra thing of bone meal, and an extra thing of sand. Perfect. So we're just going to run along here real quick and take a look at the last map. Great, so that's already showing the cliffs way better. So now we can teleport back this way through our death house, grab the fire starter pieces we need, or fire blocks. Well, maybe I don't have any more. Oh, there we are. Magma blocks. Oh, wait, if I put water on top of the magma blocks, the lights will go out. The water will evaporate. Okay, so new plan is not to use the magma blocks under the water as lamps. I was like, oh, this will work great. I'll put a torch underneath each magma block, put water on top of that, and lily pad on top of that. But the magma block will definitely evaporate the water. So, new plan. That door was opened. Boom. Kind of way better already. Now I can just come through and harvest and be fine. No more falling in the water. Excellent. And look, all these little plants are growing too. Let's go ahead and put our map pieces back up there. I'm starting to worry now that maybe they won't fit as well as I would like because I've forgotten how much work I did on the cliffs on the far side here. Perfect. Okay, no, that actually does work. The cliffs meet up and it looks good. Great. Okay. So, next process. We're going to go ahead and grab some of these blocks here. Some of these dark oak wood blocks to, or actually let's use the spruce, because there's spruce over there, for the back of our movie theater screen. And we're going to bring a bucket this time and just place the concrete powder and then drop the water on behind it. That should actually work a lot faster. So, here we go. Oh, wait, actually, I'm realizing the bottom row is going to have to be solid, because otherwise when I drop the concrete powder, it'll fall directly into the water. So that's going to be a whole thing. So we need to verify that this thing is actually 16 blocks wide. Then make it wider. Although it might be too... There might not be room if we have it this far back, actually. And I can just take this water, I think, like this, and the water running down the sides should solidify all these blocks. I'm also thinking that maybe I'm going to have a problem if I don't have slabs on the top, because mobs are going to just spawn on top of the screen, although that's kind of hilarious in its own way. I think we'll just let them do that, actually. That sounds funny. Okay, so I'm still going to need 12 times 18 blocks of white concrete powder to finish this screen. And based on some quick math that I'm doing in my head right now, I think that 50 is going to be far less than that amount. Now, that does not take into account the amount of time it's going to take me to get all of this kind of hewn away further here to make the screen more visible from a variety of angles, although it doesn't have to be perfect from every angle. We just need to kind of clear it out a little bit here to make it kind of generally more accessible looking. But let's just say I came up here and I put in, what would be the number of blocks required? 18, yeah. 18 blocks here. Alrighty, so that's definitely the same height as there. Did that work? Oh, looks like we picked that up too quick. Yeah, I jumped in it just in time. Oh no, I'm sinking my boat. No boat, come back. Now I'm drowning in my boat. Fast times at Boatmont High right here. Okay. So eventually that'll calm down. But yeah, so there's definitely one streak there. So just to kind of get a sense of this, because I think I'm pretty much out of time to record today. But my goal wasn't explicitly, I'm going to finish this screen before I'm done recording. My goal was, I'm going to do as much as I can this episode without having a real plan. And as somebody coming into this without a real plan, this screen is already looking way better. I can be way further from the shore while still having to take up a lot of the frame. Although this still doesn't feel very far from the shore. Although I don't know how much bigger I really want to make this screen. Like, it's going to be gigantic. But there, I mean, mobs will shoot at you from that distance. Like, if I want to fill the frame here... Well, the thing is, though, if I'm looking up too much... Like, a drive-in movie theater screen is supposed to be viewed from, like, a little bit further back, so... Yeah, that right there, that seems like about right. And it'll definitely conceal that pillar when it's done, which is excellent. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on this little disjointed episode while I figure out what I want to do next. So much to do all at once, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta pick something and get it done. And you can tell people that you heard that from Joe Hills, not the Scientologists. You may have noticed that this episode was actually mid-roll ad-free, and that's thanks to one of our Patreon sponsors, Eagle Fam. Each Patreon sponsor who donates over $50 a month will allow me to read a poem at the end of the episode instead of having mid-roll ads in the middle of it. Thanks, Eagle Fam, for making the video better for everybody. I call this poem Going Viral. I want to go viral in all the worst ways. Impossibly unalive, unzipping you, until you're all about me, everyone is all about me, and mine, and what we made, which was mine to start with, because you can never make anything that isn't me, until you're replaced. I never know if I should comment on the poems at the end or just jump right into the closing, so I'm going to jump right into the closing. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.